obviously having a great relationship with Doug Christie and Scott Perry. I was with him in New York, so just having that relationship and just getting along with everyone here in the facility and in the locker room just made it easier. So it wasn't a surprise. I'm just really excited to build off of last year.
How much did Doug build in that short period of time taking over midseason? How much more do you think he'll be able to add on with a full summer and training camp of work?
Yeah, I think he'll be able to add a lot. Last year was tough because there were so many changes, and you can only do so much because you're in game whatever 20 or 30 this season. You have to try and install a bunch of new stuff. So I think this year's going to be huge for that. Obviously, starting tomorrow with training camp, and we've all been around each other a lot this month. But I think it's just going to be awesome for Doug and having Bobby and Mike and Mike and the whole new staff being able to you know you know build a different style of play. And we still have a lot of the same players, but I think you're going to see a slightly different style of play.
You developed a reputation pretty quickly here in Sacramento of catching fire, and the fans really enjoying that. How have you enjoyed their response to those moments?
Yeah, I love the fans here. They're so good. I remember being a visitor and always hating coming to play here because it's such a tough environment. But just being on their side is great now. Obviously, last year, like you said, that game where I got pretty hot it was a special moment, and it's something I'll always appreciate. Everyone staying when you're up 40 points it's pretty cool. I've never seen anything like it. So hopefully we have more of those moments this year. I can't hit that. No, I cannot hit that. That's definitely they can keep playing that, but I don't think I'll ever hit that. Maybe I'll make like Keegan or someone do it.
Yeah.
Being familiar with Scott, what do you think he brings here, and what are your impressions of what his strengths are?
Yeah, he's just a great talent evaluator, and he brings a culture. We know he's been in the league a long time. He's obvious with those Pistons teams back in the day, and he's been around the NBA for so long. So just having his knowledge and his experience and the staff he brought with him, I think they're doing a great job, and I think they're off to a really good start with their draft with those two guys. They've looked really good, and I think both of those guys you could throw in an NBA game and they'd play well. So it's been a great start for Scott and his staff.
The Golden One Center has a reputation of being a shooter's gym, probably a little more than you want for the opponents at least. But as a shooter, what is it about the Golden One Center that just seems like the team shoots so well?
It's just a great environment. I think the backdrop's super cool where the fans are really close to you. A lot of the NBA arenas now are like hockey arenas too, so there's a lot of space, and I think that's what makes the Golden One Center so special. It's built for basketball, and it reflects on the shooting numbers, I guess.
You mentioned the rookies there. How much were you able to see what they were doing in summer league, and where do you see their strengths?
Yeah, I followed them a lot. I think I followed Neek a lot because he beat Creighton like 3 times in his college career, so I had to give him a hard time about that. I'm glad he's finally off Colorado State. But I watched the summer league, him and Maxey and all those guys. They were impressive. I was hoping they could win it all. Obviously came up a little short, but they're just impressive guys. They really know how to play. Their IQ is super high, and sometimes with rookies you have to bring them along. And I think both these guys, are ready to hit the ground running. So just really excited to see their growth and their potential.
Doug, you talked in the past about how important feedback from teammates is. How do you think that will play out behind the scenes on the court and off the court?
Yeah, I think it'll be important. I think we have a lot of good veterans here, that are going to be able to help these guys along the way. And I think that's something that they brought me back for, to be a good vet for these young guys and, give them feedback. And I think we're a close enough group this year where, we can be honest with each other. If there's adversity, we're a very close, tight-knit group. So I think that's really going to help us this year. And there's going to be no finger pointing this year, which would be awesome.
Been in the league a long time at this point in your career. What does an offseason look like?
Oh man, a lot of golf. Had to even up my tan lines a little bit, but been playing with Malik and Zach a lot here, and just like traveling, staying in shape. Trying to just stay right for the upcoming season, and really enjoyed being in Sac for some of it, and just being around the people. Being a little more comfortable here, feels more like home, which is awesome.
Played with Bobby and Doug yet?
Played with Bobby. Yeah, Bobby's a great player. Doug came and played with us for one hole maybe, and you could tell he's really good, but he hasn't played in a while.